they're supposed to win early, but if you do put a foot wrong, you will just die insta, and they might actually get a first blood here. Or did they get spotted? They didn't. They'll find AC. Can they get a flash here, or will it just be an Arctic Assault? Oh, he held it. He's going to have to flash, surely. Oh, he goes down anyway.
No.
Titan, no AC. Oh, the greediest flash hold of all time.
Okay, so this is a great time for us to impart some wisdom, Trajan, because we're both thinking the same thing. Why are we angry at AC in this situation? Well, what you should do at level 1 is hold your skill. This is a prime example for everybody playing solo queue. Hold your skill until you get into the lane or you start clearing a camp. Because in a situation like that, you can level up your mobility spell and dash out to safety without having to burn your summoner spell. Unfortunately, AC either didn't do this or recognized his options too late. Obviously, don't know when he leveled up and what it was. But if you have Q here, you live. Fundamentally, you don't die, and Teton doesn't go into lane with a 300 or 400 gold boost to his lane.
Yeah, and you've given Titan the mental edge as well. You've walked into this lane, you've given him first blood before lanes have even crashed, and you don't want to give Titan the mental edge. He's already got a red flag draped around his shoulders now in his player cam. Like, this is not the start, especially going into Lucian Nami. We'll see if Juliera and Valor can still step up in the 2v2 and maybe punish overconfidence, but man, he's got 2 longswords already. Like, this is just going to be brutal.
It is, and you can see Juliera Cavallo are certainly trying to punish. They're using this double range triangle, I like to call it, the core JJ triangle, where you're trying to auto attack in a good window. Avenger, you're having a good time as well. But yeah, double longsword plus 4 potions, you're never going to punish anywhere near enough onto this Lucian, and when you as the Aphelios in this situation have locked into into single longsword, you have lower base HP, you don't have that Doran's helping you out. It does mean that an all-in from the Lucian Nami early on actually becomes a lot more potent. With an extra longsword as well, we're merely compounding these issues.
AC maybe looking to get something back on Avenger, who is not in the best wave position right now. Piloto trying not to give the game away. He still has to flash on Jace. This is getting burned at least, you got to imagine. And he has to go before this wave pushes back.
Yeah, they're going to go for it on cannon.
Oh, there it is. Avenger steps forward, he switches form. In goes the ball, and there's the flash he used. That's all you're really going to get, but they did get it as Titan gets flayed in. Cavallo hook does not land onto Scamber, and it's a trade back, but as we said, Titan has got 4 potions and biscuits. A trade is not an issue.
No, take it, and even if it's a bad one as well. For numeracy numbers here, 125 HP per health pot, so goes into lane with 500 health points in his back pocket as well, just that you can use, plus biscuits, and they have varying effects depending on how low on HP you are, but it is an extra health bar in these early stages that the Lucian can work with, so emphasis on the fact that finding trades as red is going to be good for you, even if it looks bad on the onset.
Aegis now into the mid lane, looking to try and get Piloto Summoner, but he is way up to that top side. Aegis not willing to flash Twisted Advance and threaten himself under the tower. AC going to watch for him and maybe find a little punish here. Doesn't have the Summoners, I don't think. Oh, he does still. He doesn't have blue buff, but now Avenger is going to be first to this play. Piloto's over, has a shield, and there's a 2v2 angle here. Flash in fact, from Orianna, with the autos coming through to a flashless Jace.
Nice.
Can they find it? Piloto looks for it. There's the final command move, and Aegis now left in the 1 versus 2. The shield comes back, tries to find AC, but he's parked away from Piloto. He still finds the double.
Really good for Liberty in the mid lane there. Wave's in a good spot as well for Piloto. He can now go back to base, let this wave slowly push into him and collect all the remnants when he gets back to the lane. Gonna come into this mid lane with a lost chapter maybe off the back of all that gold that he gets. But you might want to start that tier up stacking. Doesn't matter either way. It's a big lead, big boost for Liberty in the early stages. Aegis walks into this river looking for a scuttle crab, finds a boar instead. And you can see Red, they think that they can take this fight, but Piloto really sacrifices a lot from that mid lane to make this move happen, and they manage to find that first kill onto Avenger, and then Aegis here finds that Q, and you think, oh, maybe he's got the damage to take them both out. Unfortunately, it's just level 3, just rank 1 Maokai Q. Doesn't quite have the stopping power that they'd have maybe hoped for.
Absolutely not. Piloto, he did go for the utility, for the responsible path here. He's gone for the Lucidity Boots in the tier, so he doesn't have any extra damage to leverage in the 1v1, but can spam those spells with Abandon. we should be able to get good CSing and be able to trade. The longer trades, I guess, will really start to go in his favor. He's got that move speed as well. So scaling up nicely is Piloto. I like the gold going into this guy. And overall, besides that pretty unfortunate start from AC on the top side, Liberty have dealt with red fairly well, still keeping the gold even in these early stages. We haven't really seen much of the top side lane matchup there. Boal does have the assist from that earlier first blood, but has just been kind of loosely in control, as the Jax lanes have been so far today.
And pitches the cull as well, so waiting to hit that 1-2 item power spike just a little bit longer, but is going to obviously hit it with a bit more abandon, you'd like to imagine. Sheen already in there just in case he wants to try and take some trades, and isn't going to be feeling too harsh in that laning phase, as Cavallo's going to check 3 people.
Finds Aegis, but he has AC as well. It's a 3v3, and Aegis locked up once again. Remember, he's flashless, and look at the damage coming out of Juliera with AC as well. Titan and Scamber with the first blood. Looks for the chill to Cavallo. The hook lands onto Nami, but we can't finish anyone off here, lads. And it's a 1-for-1 at the end. Didn't need to be this way.
Again, overextension in the bot side. Cavallo there, as you mentioned, goes too far forward, and Juliera's done the same. Flash forced out. Manages to survive, fortunately, but Red clapping back in situations they really have no right to have been.
Yeah, Titan, I was about to say, we got that first blood, had extra damage, still lost that 3v3, but then we saw in that catch out onto Juliera, there's the damage. The serrated Dirk Pickaxe combo really hit different there. And Avenger was first into the river to threaten as well. So Red firing back again, keeping it even after, what I feel like should have just been a quick kill, maybe even a dragon as well for Liberty.
Yeah, and you can see Cavallo's face checks this, but he actually manages to buy a lot of time. Flays in, Glacial goes down and slows up the majority of Red. And Juliera chasing with Gravitum here, they're like, okay, if we get cooldowns up in time, we can definitely chase Teton, but unfortunately his cooldowns come up as well. Great flash to reposition, and as you mentioned, there's just not enough left in the tank on the Vampire except to Aphelios this early on to try and find that kill back. That's why I said, oh my god, I looked back at his inventory when he died, I was like, alright, this isn't the way to tilt. I can respect that it's going to do a lot of work versus the carries from Red, right? With Lucian, Jace, and Jax all dealing physical damage. It's not the end of the world, but yeah.
It does feel a little bit like, you see this Lucian damage, spam pinging it in chat. What is that, Riot? Broken Champ buys that tabbies instantly.
Does feel like a tilt purchase, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I see.
We could have seen this come in after the first item, maybe, or after, Noonquiver Pickaxe. We get a cleanse out of Titan there. Cavallo with a well-placed hook will remove that threat now. No summoners there for Delusion. If he gets caught up, it could mean death for him. But the rest of Liberty, they're on top side securing this Herald.
So, even despite the misgivings of their bot lane, they are able to secure advantages elsewhere, be it that they just push in a top wave and a mid lane, sacrifice a little bit there to secure Herald. They're happy enough taking themselves this small lead for the time being. Red obviously going to respond because they have permanent priority down on that bot side. Serrated Dirk Rush for Teton means that the damage there is, really, really present, even despite those plated steel caps being picked up. And you can see constantly looking, constantly aggressing here. My oh my.
Aggressing, certainly the word. Yeah, Juliera with the red and white guns even still gets chunked way down low. Titan standing within tower range, just daring them to do something about it. And they do not. So the dragon goes over to red. Aegis heads onto this bot side as well. We might be in for another little 3v3 here. Or maybe Aegis just trying to snipe away. Or slow the fight there coming through as they got the box onto Titan. He's burning away from the ignite. But there's the Nature's Wrath to slow up the play. This bot lane is exactly what I expected, honestly. It's fireworks all day.
And, they're not really landing either way. Shockwave pulls Avenger in, but he should be able to walk this out. Piloto's mana bar, not quite enough to warrant an overextension down there. Still 3 people down here from either side. Aegis is acting as this front line. Teton and Scamper have got no HP or mana.
Oh, the search goes wide. It goes off the edge of the rift, but Aegis is so deep, and the rest of the red bot lane do not want any part of it. Titan already less than 100 HP. Now Avenger on the rotation down. Piloto TP into that bot lane tower, and AC can wall off the Jace. Liberty, they bet on themselves down there in bot lane, and it works out.
Do have to, raise some question marks for Red this time. Why are they sticking around? Scamber the same here.
Drops the heal. Avengers round the corner, but Piloto's there. They force the flash. Comes in with AC, though. Gets away from the bubble, and Jace feels like he has to commit. Will flash himself as well as Aegis is respawned and coming back for round 2, perhaps. The tower will survive. Won't even take that much damage overall. But it's 3 plates off for sure.
Lots of missteps here from Liberty. There's no way that we should... oh, not from Liberty, excuse me, from Red. No way we should ever see Aegis step that close to Sejuani Thresh. Their pick potential, even under a turret, you got to see really impressive. And Scamber, again, you have no business being there. 400 HP as a Nami. Should just go back to base, get yourself back out onto the map with your AD carry, with your jungler, and be somewhere with somebody else who can help you out. Liberty, though, again, all credit to them for picking up on these advantages that Red are quite happy to give them. It's one thing for them to say, oh, this Sejuani's too, or this Maokai's too far forward. It's another for them to find the kill on them for it.
Yeah, and Liberty built themselves up. About a 1.5k lead, slightly over it so far in the early game. 5 kills to 3 over Red. And Red have been on the struggle bus lately. They started very strong, and now they've been handed a few pretty significant Ls. The only people they can seem to consistently beat is Pain Gaming for some reason, but they are definitely not the Red of the first few weeks and not the Red of the previous championships. Not quite yet, as Liberty are really looking to break their loss streak, if at all. They almost had it over Los Grandes yesterday, and now they've got Red very much on the ropes in the early stages.
This Liberty has been the team that could, but the team that hasn't.
Yeah,
so
literally.
far in this season, like they've been so close, and we've just never quite seen it fully fleshed out into game victories. But I mean, this is as good a position as we've seen from them for a while. This is another winning spot for them in this game. We take a look at the gold. They're up 2,000. We look at AC right here. He should be able to find Avenger.
He's got the ult, comes over the wall, straight into it. Piloto with the shockwave. This is a very tricky combo to escape, especially for a flashless Jace, and it's a killing spree for the Orianna. They'll crash this wave in. AC again, 2, 2, and 4, 100% kill participation. He's everywhere on the map. He's everything Liberty need him to be as he walks slap bang into Aegis. Calls for another fight. Kiari's there with Mega ready. Twisted advance. Out comes Nature's Wrath as well, but he's slammed against the wall. And look who's here. It's Piloto back in for an assist as Kiari picks up the credit here. Liberty from strength to strength on this top side.
And whenever Liberty succeed, it's AC pushing them forward. Like you mentioned, Trajan, 100% kill participation. Now up to 7 out of 7 kills for the team. Knows exactly where he needs to be, and also exactly where Red are going to be as well. Finding that advantage once again, and pushing the limits of this Sejuani through the early stages of the game.
Titan steps just again way under the tower, takes tower shots, Gale forces for a bit of damage,
oh, no.
and gets hooked and has to flash. What are we doing here, man? He has to drop the summoner and run for the hills. He's still smiling in the player cam, but like, my goodness, man, the disrespect is massive. And AC's there, they don't quite tag him with the Q from Juliera. He hasn't died, he's getting away with it, but it doesn't feel justified.
Yeah. There are some questionable maneuvers from Teton so far this game. That auto attack under the turret was, I mean, as illegal as it gets. He gets rightfully punished. Does have to burn his flash there, but a well-timed play from Cavallo. I think this is a bit of that pressure of everywhere's losing, I have to do something. There's now Avenger going to be the subject of a 3v1.
Doesn't get ulted there, only the Piloto shockwave lands, and Kiari needs to finish this one off. He'll find it. Aegis late from the Wolves. Teton tied up by Juliera here, who does have a flash if he wants to try and hard commit. Maybe there's an angle, but won't pull the trigger. A rare moment of restraint from Juliera, perhaps in the face of Titan's just rabid gameplay so far in this one.
Yeah, they're recognizing Scamber heal there, I think. Definitely has lethal if Scamber doesn't heal in time, but you don't want to take that risk, because then you run the risk of getting turned back around on bubbled under the turret, things like that. There are distinct issues if that goes awry. They're going to be happy enough with first brick going in their favor, plus a dragon going their way, so it is a win on the bot side. It's maybe not the biggest that they could have got, but they'll be more than happy that they're able to secure themselves an advantage at the bare minimum.
And that early priority withering away from Red Canids in that bot side. They've now palmed Avenger down there to pick up the farm. He's 0-3-1. He could do with a quiet few minutes to get back into this one. Titan and Scamber in the mid lane need to make sure they watch their step against a 3-item mythic and a half completed Piloto. First item done on AC. 1.5 items done on Juliera as well. Chiari with the Triforce, with those late couple of kills. Liberty getting all the tools they need, and we mentioned how strong of a team fight they have. They don't need to leverage some sort of high-level gameplay like 1-3-1ing or siege comps or hit potential or anything like this. They can rock up to objectives in 5v5.
I mean, we've seen them even not need to leverage their abilities, right? AC dove into the turret, fired his ult to Narnia, and still managed to find the kill underneath the turret, right? Avenger falling now 3 times. It's really easy to execute when they've got numbers and when you've got a gold lead, right? Money forgives more sins, I think I heard yesterday, right? So this is something that, with Liberty being in such a good position and with them being a team that have struggled with closing out, having a simple way to close is going to really benefit them. And it's one of those situations where if we can't see them finish out this game, it begs the question of which games are they going to be able to finish.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, despite Red's record, this is definitely the majority of those wins came in the first half of the split. Most of the losses came in the second. This is not the strongest Red have been and are primed to be tripped up once again by Liberty, who are this team that feel like they could trip anyone at any time. If you take your eye off the ball, they will punish you very heavily. Now, they will also probably take their own eye off the ball and then punish themselves straight afterwards. But there's so much threat there, and we guess we have to keep an eye on Juliera. We flagged up some of the missteps he's made in that mid and late game to throw away these leads that they have. Piloto as well has made a couple of critical mistakes around Dragon Pits in the past, so let's see if they can clean up the mistakes, can use the lead that they have built, and the linear, simple game plan that they have drafted to get this over the line against our previous 2021, or 2022, I should say, Split 1 champs.
And remember, this is a Liberty team that can also still make playoffs. If they find a win here, they are putting themselves in a position to potentially cause a really big upset. Like, again, it is absolutely incredible that we are heading into round 16 and every team can still make playoffs. Yes, it's really difficult for Vivo Keystars, but the math is there that theoretically they can win every game, Furia can lose every game, and then they beat them in a tiebreaker to seal 6th position. It is on the cards for everybody in this league. So the fact that Liberty are fighting back now is exactly what they need.
Yeah, Titan has secured this. Oh, gets away from the shockwave there, aggressively coming in. Titan not to be cowed by this goal deficit, but won't find the kill there, as Boal found a tower on bot lane as well. We've got this split map right now, with Liberty on the top side, now TPing in to try and find a punish onto a potentially overextended Red, but I don't think they have the angle.
TP into the bot lane as well from Piloto, and now Liberty, they're overextended.
Yeah, Red wants it. Out comes the Nami wave. Only finds the knock-up onto AC, who won't get bubbled. As Boal's rotated over, Piloto now coming through. A hook lands, but we don't have all the damage here, Liberty. You've got to be careful. Aegis flashes away. In goes Titan. Tries to find the Gnar, and it will be, in fact, Aegis picking up the kill credit. As now, Aphelios and Orianna here. Cavallo still wants a bit more, but doesn't find the hook. And Liberty not on the same page, and 2 kills go over.
My word, these fights are incredible, and we're getting to see why Teton feels confident dashing in under turrets, going for these auto attacks, because he is playing this Lucian to the very limits of its possibility. Really just smurfing in these fights, dashing around, having all the agency in the world, and making the most of what a Lucian can do. 20 CS up in that bot lane as well. Look at this here. Immediately, Gale Force passes the shockwave from Piloto. I think that's going to be it from Liberty, but no, they look to try and TP into this mid lane. Let's see what they can find, and it's Aegis just being enough of a front line there, warding off a potential engage, and then as soon as AC face checks again, it's a face check, right? You're going into some very high damage champions that you don't necessarily have the ability to be face checking like they are. And this hook again from Cavallo baits in an extra member that they think that they can get, but they actually can't. Demonic Embrace is actually the final instance of damage, and AC actually very lucky to live. Back to life, and Chiari's gone down on that top side. Liberty, they've made one mistake, they're making a second, and this is where it starts for the Red return.
Exactly. They pull that dive up onto Chiari now. AC, see if he can maybe hold it on, but knows that there's no point fighting for this one right here. The Dragon is live, and we could see Liberty maybe try and find a bit more of a simple fight with all of their damage ready and prepared to get this game back on track. And it seems like Cavallo definitely really wants to fight. He's looking for these hooks at every opportunity. He really wants to extend these plays, feels the gold lead that they have, and feels the position of strength they're in, wants to make use of it. But yeah, they're not all connected there. Didn't have all the damage in the last fight, weren't prepared to take these plays, and Red, with the inside track onto this dragon, will actually take the lead here, and it's a Hextech Rift as well. The Soul with a massive potential impact for whoever secures it.
Leans more toward a team with more damage on their squad. I think that particularly Maokai is exceedingly obnoxious with a Hextech Soul, just because you get the slow coming off of your saplings, plus the little burst as well from the Soul. We'll have to wait and see, of course, whether they can make it there, because Red, once again, about to hit this mid-game spike massively. I'm waiting for one more auto-attack, weirdly enough, from Avenger. Finally, there we go, Muramana completed. 2-item Jace, 2.5-item Lucian, that serrated Dirk here, acting as that half item, just because it gives you the extra boost versus champions with low armor. In this game, it's Piloto more than anybody because of Juliera's boot choice, but it is the window now where Red should just win everything.
Exactly. They're going to be pushing for that one. As we've said, Titan really shoving hard to play on the absolute limit. And Boel on this Jax on the other side has just been quietly picking up these sideways, picking up these turrets, accruing gold on the map. AC can't find the ult onto Titan. He has to get out of there. At least they know here that once they don't find the free engage, just walk away. It's not a long cooldown. We'll get them next time.
A little disappointed by some of the Sejuani ults I've seen so far today. I think that just aiming directly at the people, maybe that sounds like I'm flaming really badly, but that we're trying to predict flashes and predict dashes, and Teton is fast enough to know whether or not he needs to flash. And even in an instance like that where you're going so close range, he's going to be ready with a cleanse.
Oh, there's the Piloto, the little Jace insect there from Avenger. You said Piloto was the target, and he goes down in the jungle.
Yeah, it's really good map moves here from Red. They're baiting Liberty into thinking that mid's the play, and then as soon as they've pushed in that mid wave, Liberty are overcommitting to defend a wave that Red aren't actually ingressing on, and then they go for a play in this topside jungle, which Liberty have absolutely no vision of. Aegis, right, like, you're in a solo queue game, you see a jungler there, you're thinking, what?
Aegis gets on top of them, Cavallo throws the hook out, couldn't find Titan, and so squishy. Chiari's arrived almost mega, but might not get a chance to hit it as Titan goes on a killing spree and steps away on low HP. The tower going to fall as well, and look at Boal, he's still shoving towers, man. This Red has just activated at a click of their fingers in the last few minutes. Suddenly, they're 3k ahead.
Lucian Nami just hit, and the second Teton finds that leverage in a game is the second that Red start winning. This is what I love to see from a team. Everybody knows what their strengths are and when their spikes have been hit, right? They've hit this Jason. Even though Piloto's not finding great shockwaves to turn games back around, he had a good enough early game to feel like he'd be powerful in this mid game. It doesn't matter. Avengers hit 2 items and Red are forcing with that. Teton, the same case. And I mean, Aegis has got Demonic Embrace. He's full build. Doesn't matter anymore. So as soon as those items are hit, Red are just nailing Liberty.
Yeah, not giving them a second to breathe right here. All of the wind out of their sails. With a Baron live, with a Dragon up in 90 seconds. These objective fights could push this game out of a retrievable state for Liberty. As a reminder, if they lose this game, I believe because they are 0-2 down to Furia, they are out of playoffs contention, potentially. VKS at least have a 1-1 head-to-head. They have a chance to play for a tiebreaker, but Liberty do not have that chance. As the Sejuani ultimate again goes wide, it does at least get a flash out of Scamber. But AC really not been able to find those engages, find the windows that they need. Try and punish Red.
Really strong early from AC, unfortunately. It's petered out into a woeful mid-game. Really not looked too hot on the Sejuani engages, and now Teton dashing into a Sedge. You know it's a good moment when your Lucian feels that emboldened in the state of the game to be able to walk forward onto the tank, use your dash aggressively.
Yari getting aggressed on my ball, has to flash away. He does have Mega, and the team are on his side of the map, but they won't commit to it. Boal will be allowed to just go away. He's got that Spear of Trojan for himself as Titan again going aggressive onto Piloto. Will he survive this? He's forced the stasis from the Orianna, and again, there's no punish. He'll just emote and walk back to his team.
And you can see there, Liberty, they're not committing to that bot side. They know Baron is a threat for Red at this moment. And as soon as they're like overextending a little bit in that mid lane, again, Piloto this time, the one who's sort of in danger. That stasis burn, he's going to need another 1200 gold before he gets that one on a permanent cooldown. Liberty in a little bit of a rough spot here as Red have started up this Baron, 8k HP, but AC doesn't even look like he's got a clue this is going on. 7,000, he's got to try and walk through so much damage though. Teton is the zoner.
He's discovered them, hasn't been hit by a shock blast, but has no backup right here. Now the rest of them are arriving, down below 3k HP. AC goes in, doesn't find the ult. Does he have a flash? He can't get in the pit, and Aegis finds the Baron as the fight breaks out. Kiari's gone mega, slams Edge into the wall. Boa looking for the flank. Juliera with the red and white guns could mount a defense if needed, as AC needs to not die to these minions right now. But ultimately, Red, they're walking away with the Baron. They're happy.
Tempered aggression here from Red. I'm really surprised they didn't go for more. They have that numbers advantage, that fight advantage on the top side, but they instead decide that getting control of the map is better. This is, really good from a macro standpoint. They take tier 2, they're going to take the Drake as well, puts them at soul point, and they've got a Baron to extend even further leads in their favour. There are no turrets outside of the base for them to take with this Baron. They just quickly mopped up the tier 2 before they've gone for that full reset. AC may get in here.
He goes in. Can he find the... So he takes it. He finds the steal. Fair play to him. The lantern is there. Does he have the shield? He'll still burn away. Almost the great escape. But they at least even up the dragons. They won't go to Hextech Soul Point for Red.
Genuinely big steal here, because the way the game's going is Red should be closing out on the next cycle of neutral objectives. Taking that soul and taking the next Baron could very well have been the thing that finished off this game. But Liberty, they've got one less check mark that they're going to need to, or that Red have got in their boxes, right? No soul for the next 10 minutes now means that gives Liberty a lot of staying power in this match. Gives Aphelios time to finish Infinity Edge, Ori to get to a Zhonya's and potentially a pen item as well. It's not going to be easy for Liberty. They've really fumbled the bag in this mid game, but with Red and this Baron still to contest with, they've got a long ways to go before they're, sitting pretty for a late game team fight.
It really stings to be referring again to a Liberty fumbled bag, as we have so many times in the past. But such is the way right now with this squad, and they have to bring it together here. They need to bring some of that comeback potential that we have seen from them earlier on in this split. Perhaps against the lower teams, though, Red are so strong from controlling positions. They've got these Baron waves. They're doing the 1-3-1 right now. Titan's been playing basically solo this whole game, and they've given him a lane to look after. With the rest of Red and bot lane and Boal, who has been essentially PvE this entire game, crashing in that top wave. Kiari doing his best, but not too much he can offer here.
No, level 17 as well. Demolish proc for one and then just walk away. Just playing off of your Sheen procs as this Jax is going to be really easy to work around. Teton breaks mid lane. This is gorgeous from Red. All three waves just constantly battering down the hatches of Liberty. The second they get a small reprieve in the mid lane, the two side lanes start joining in. And again, it's just going to be slow, meticulous. There goes the Maokai ult. That's going to ward off for this turret as well. Okay, the turret stays alive, but it's because Kiari's down here. And we look at the top lane. It's not just a turret falling in the top side. It's inhibitor as well.
They just can't get in. AC hasn't been able to land a Sejuani ult for what feels like 15 minutes. Cavallo the hooks as well. And all three inhibs just like that are going to be going down here. Oh, going to pressure onto Kiari. He's gone mega right here. Teton drops the emote as well. Kiari doesn't have the flash. I don't think he has level 16 now, but no one to drop it on. No, doesn't have the flash. And this inhib's not long for this world.
Confident Teton is with cleanse ready, standing in the face of AC, just wanting him really to throw that Glacial Tomb out. Doesn't end up doing it. And I think that that's a trade that you should be taking if you opt into this, position where you've got Sejuani ult. Force the cleanse on at one time, just so that you can then fire another ulti at the next timing of your ulti. The issue is, of course, with that is that Scamper's actually gone second item Mikhail's, so it's not even like you can trade Sejuani ult for cleanse and then go again in 90 seconds, because there's a second instance of that CC that can easily be removed. But in no situation, and I want to emphasize this, is it ever okay to give 3 inhibitors. I would much rather have seen Liberty fight, die, and lose than go into this position.
Yeah, this is just unworkable for almost any comp, any team to play around. The sheer weight of super minions marching on you as Juliera, he's way out in front of his team, in front of his base. And that's it. That's gotta be it. The AD carry is dead. The waves are prepped. Red with so much control. Oh, they find the ults on him. There's the cleanse and the flash used. But that'll be it. That'll be all they write for it. Bowl still finds in, goes in, finds the stun. But without the Aphelios scaling damage, we're just waiting on these super minions to crash in. Piloto and Chiari are gonna have to do the impossible to hold them at the line here.
Wait for mid, wait for bot, let these minions hit the turret because they'll do the majority of the damage. That's what Liberty are going to have to focus on, and then you can just spend 3 times autoing.
Chiari misses the ultimate, has the flashback to safety. Malkael's gone through, roots up 3 members. Titan looking for an angle onto that Nara Venture to follow it up as well, and Boal flashes, jumps in behind, catches Piloto, or Cavallo I should say, and AC will hit the floor as well. Juliera comes off the fountain to find his base in ruins, his team in tatters. And the playoff stream for Liberty dies at the hands of Red Canids.